bitch, there you go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach from Just Cuz Games, and welcome to our very first ever live Airsoft gameplay on our channel. So all the gameplay you'll see is by me. I'm the one playing. You can see my dad in front of me right here at the beginning, and then Alex is also in this game, and you'll see him a lot on camera. So before we start, this was a game that took place on the 26th of March. That was a Saturday, and it was at Camp R&R, which is a airsoft field that is relatively close to my house, and I'll put a link in the description below to their website if you're interested, because if you live in the Pacific Northwest or whatever and you're interested in some airsoft fields and want to know where this is. So yeah, link in the description below to that. So this game was Operation Dirty Hippie, and it was put on by Thunderkiss. So big thanks to them, and then it was sponsored by Vulcan. So big thanks to Vulcan. We got some free BBs for signing up thanks to Vulcan. Also, there was a big airsoft gun giveaway that somebody won thanks to them. So yeah, thank you to Vulcan for sponsoring this game. It was a lot of fun, and thank you to Thunderkiss for putting it on. And Thunderkiss, for those of you who don't know, is a airsoft store who sell lots of cool airsoft gear. And they have a website, link in the description below to their website. You can buy plenty of stuff off of there. But they also have a store nearby where I live, so I shop there often. Okay, so also, before we get into all this, big, huge thank you to my friend Ian. He lent me a GoPro, that way you guys could see all of this footage, so thank you, Ian. You guys would not have been able to see any of this gameplay if it wasn't thanks to him. So thank you, Ian, and yeah, okay. So as we're going here, I'm going to be giving you guys live commentary of what's going on, because it was honestly pretty complex. I was confused a lot of the time about like the scenario and what was going on and stuff, and I wasn't sure what I should be doing, what everyone was. Near the end, I started to grasp it, kind of what our goals were and stuff. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys some like live commentary of everything that's going on and what we're all doing. Okay, so before we start, let me show you the setup that I was rolling with. If you're interested in seeing what Alex was wearing, check out his whole entire video he posted on that, link in the description below to that video. So here is my setup. So for the Airsoft game, there were two teams. One was the camo team, and one was the solid colors team, which was the PMC. And so we chose the solid colors team, so I went with an all black look. That way it was pretty obvious what team I was on. So starting out, the mask I am using you guys have seen before from my Airsplat unboxing from their website, and so that is the helmet I am using. It is a Punisher modeled style helmet. So I love that helmet. It's fairly comfortable if you put like a little padding mask underneath, which I have. It's kind of like a ski mask with some padding, and it worked great. And on top of that, I have my GoPro strapped, well, Ian's GoPro, strapped to my head for videoing, and then I have kind of like just a hiking backpack that just held a couple things to my back, which was just pretty standard, just to hold some magazines and extra ammunition and stuff like that. And then I have gloves. I have no clue what brand they are, but they're just kind of like normal airsoft gloves. You've probably seen them if you've ever if you've ever shopped for airsoft gloves or anything like that. They're pretty standard and normal. A lot of people have them. And then black sweatshirt, black pants. So yeah. So once everyone had gotten to the game, there actually ended up being around over 170 people there. It was actually the biggest game that had ever happened at Camp R&R. So it was a pretty massive game. As you guys can see here, there's Alex, there's my dad, and you guys can see, there's some tents set up and stuff. Some of them are places where players can just set their guns down and load and everything. And then there was also like a Thunderkiss, almost like shop, where you could buy some stuff. Or even buy smoke bombs for the game, like if you want to run out and buy a couple smoke bombs or something and then run back in and use them, you could do that. So here we're all walking towards the game, getting ready to play. As you can see, there's just a massive line. There were so many people, it was crazy. It was a huge game. It was just hard to even know where you were getting hit from a lot of the time. So this is right near the beginning of the game. The first thing we did was ran up a trail to try and get towards city, and I'll show you guys where that is in a minute. But as you can see, this guy here on the right, he just found one of the briefcases, and we really had no clue what to do with this briefcase. So as I was saying, you know, it was really complicated. A lot of us didn't know what was going on. But we started to get it near the beginning, near the end of the game. So what actually ended up being like in that briefcase was there ended up being hippie repellent and hippie attraction, different stuff like that you could use to either get the hippie towards you or get him away based on different objectives that were given throughout the game. But at that point, when we had first gotten that briefcase, we had no clue what it was for. So here at this point, let me show you the map of the fields. That way you guys can kind of tell where we're at here. So here's the map. Our spawn for our team was at stage right here, and we had a bunch of trails leading off, but our main goal was really, like, when we started, we wanted to try and push towards city. And you can see city on the map is right here, and so the easiest way to do that was Main Street, but also had the most like battle going on to where you'd get hit. So we went for these two trails back here. And so at the point that you guys are going to see in this video clip, we were right about here shooting towards city this way. So that's where we are right now in this clip, and that's kind of how the game started for us and where we went. And we found that first briefcase kind of on those trails back there.
They're getting hit. Where's it from? Where's it from? I don't know. Hit.
Okay, so at this point during the game, we had worked our way up that closer trail that was a little bit closer, but still kind of on that same end that you saw in that first video, and we got right up near city. You could see Alex there behind me a minute ago. And so what we did was, from this trail, we actually made a rush towards city here and actually kind of got in behind this building for a little bit. So here I make my run for it to get across safely. Luckily I don't get hit. And I start by looking on the left side of this building here, and you'll see, I will see some enemies there in a little bit. We'll get there in a minute, but first, right here at this corner of the building, you can see right there, an enemy pops out. I shoot, and so does the guy in front of me. I believe the guy in front of me hit him, and he falls down on the ground. And so then here, you can see I'm peering around the building, and right there was a head that kind of popped out. And then I saw his gun, like as I kind of held my gun there, but gun hits don't actually count as a kill. So I pretty much just wasn't able to get him, and I eventually the area was just getting like a little bit too hot. There was too much fire, so we had to end up running back. So at this point, this was much later in the game, we had captured the hippie and brought him to our base, which was the goal at that point. And after we captured him, as you guys see, I was reloading here. After we captured him, our goal was to actually escort him to city. So that's what we ended up doing right here.
I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Since your pretty ass, soon as you came in the door, I just wanna chill.
So at this point, we got right up on the direct road to city. We could see city in the distance, and then sadly the hippie got hit from fire from city. And so once the hippie is hit, you have to wait 5 minutes for him to respawn. So during this time here, we just kind of held our ground and tried to stay with the hippie, hung out with him a little, as you can see here, and stayed with him as best as we could and guarded him.
Did you guys find my bags of green stuff? No? I used up the green stuff.
God, no! He turned it sideways. Kill shot! That's a kill shot!
Let's go.
So finally, it had been 5 minutes, and we thought the best idea would be to throw some smoke down the trail. As you can see, that guy did right there, and it's right in the middle of the trail to give us a little cover as we moved the hippie
Keep 3
up.
next to him. Guys, keep 3.
So the rule was that you had to have 3 people next to the hippie, one of them touching him, and so I had Alex right in front of me stay with the hippie, so he's staying with him, and then I moved up with some of the other guys to provide cover fire and protect the hippie as best as we could. And as you can see in the distance there, in city, there was actually a bunch more smoke going off. There was some blue smoke and some yellow smoke. So it was pretty hot. There was a lot of fire going down. It was hard to not get hit, but we held our ground pretty well until eventually, you guys will see in a little bit, the hippie does get hit, and he has to lay down again for yet another 5 minutes.
5 minutes, get down, 5 minutes!
So sadly, shortly after this, I did get hit, have to walk back to spawn, and actually ended up having to leave the game a little bit early. The game kind of started late, it got a late start since there were like so many people there. So I ended up having to leave a little bit early and did not get to find out the end of the game. So I know that's kind of a disappointing end to this video, but that's what it's going to have to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this footage. It was a really fun game. Big thanks once again to everybody that I stated in the introduction of this video. That's Thunderkiss, that's Vulcan, that's my friend Ian for the GoPro, anybody that had anything to do with this game. This was a lot of fun, and Camp R&R, of course, big thanks to them too. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a like and a comment, and let me know if you want to see more awesome Airsoft videos like this one, because we love to play Airsoft, and we'll be posting a lot more Airsoft videos very soon, hopefully, so keep an eye out for those. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
What is he doing? Hippie! Getting something. Guys. I don't know. Can we? He has a mag. Can we?
Oh